everybody, so today we are going to begin with the lesson number 6 of your class 6 English, that is the scary room. So let's begin with this lesson. Do you believe in ghosts and other supernatural powers? क्या आप believe करते हो ghost में और दूसरी supernatural powers में? Many people do, बहुत people करते हैं. Here is the story of a brave young man who decides to prove that ghosts don't exist. So ये किसकी स्टोरी है? इसकी एक छोटे एक ब्रेव यंग मैन की स्टोरी है जो प्रूव करता है कि वो डिसाइड करता है कि प्रूव करूंगा कि जो घोस्ट होते हैं वो एग्जिस्ट ही नहीं करते. Read on to find what happened to him on that frightful night which he spent alone inside a great haunted room in an old castle. तो हम पढ़ेंगे उसके आगे उसके बारे में जानने के लिए कि क्या हुआ फिर उस फ्राइटफुल नाइट में जब वो अकेले रहा किसमें a great haunted castle में old castle में. So I can assure you, said I, that it will be very difficult for me to be frightened. तो मैं assure करता हूँ कि मुझे डराना बहुत मुश्किल की बात है. I do not believe in ghost. मैं ghost में believe नहीं करता. Indeed, if ghosts do exist, they will have to work very hard to scare me. अगर ghost exist भी करते हैं तो उन्हें बहुत ज़्यादा hard work करना पड़ेगा मुझे डराने के लिए. And I stood up before the fire with glass in my hand. और मैं क्या खड़ा हो जाऊंगा? मैं फायर लेके खड़ा हो जाऊंगा ग्लास में अपने हाथ में. It is your own choice, said the man with the wrinkled arm. फिर ये उसने बोला ये तुम्हारी चॉइस है. किसने बोला? जो मैन था wrinkled arm के साथ. And glanced at me hesitantly. I am 28 years and I have never ever seen a ghost in my life. मैं क्या हूँ? 28 years का और मैंने आज तक अपनी लाइफ में कभी घोस्ट नहीं देखा. I simply don't believe in them, said I. मैं simply believe नहीं करता इनमें. So the old man sat staring hard into the fire. तो old man stare करती हुई old woman stare करती हुई बैठी हुई थी वहाँ पे. Her pale eyes wide open. उसकी pale eyes थी wide open. She broke in with a monotonous tone. वो किसमें बोली? एक मोनोटोनस टोन में बोली जो नेवर चेंजिंग बोरिंग होती है, नेवर चेंजिंग होती है फिर बोरिंग होती है. बट इन ऑल दोस 28 years you have never seen a house like this. but तो 28 सालों में तुमने आज तक कभी ऐसा हाउस नहीं देखा होगा. It is full of tragedies and sorrow. किससे भरा हुआ है? सारे में tragedies है, sorrow है. I had suspected that the old people were speaking so gloomily to enhance the queer nature of the house. तो I have suspected, मैं suspect कर गया था कि that old people जो पुराने लोग हैं वो बोल रहे हैं gloomily means sadly बोल रहे हैं to enhance the queer, strange और unusual चीजों को enhance करने के लिए nature of the house that they had been looking after. Well, I said let's see if I meet the ghost. चलो देखते हैं मैं मिलता हूँ ghost से या नहीं. Then I heard someone entering the house. फिर मैंने किसी को enter करते हुए सुना house में. From his slow footstep, it sounded that he was older than two people sitting before me. उनके footsteps से मैं ये सब पता चला था उनकी sound से कि वो उनसे भी older थे जो दो people मेरे पास बैठे हुए थे. Chew and an old wrinkled man walked into the room with the help of a crutch. So क्या हुआ? Chew and जो था एक old wrinkled man था वो अपने रूम में चला गया. किसके साथ? किसकी हेल्प से? क्रच की हेल्प से. एक स्टिक होती है, a long stick put under the arm to help you walk. On one eye he wore a patch. एक आई पे वो क्या पहनता था? पैच पहनता था. In fact, all three old people themselves looked like ghosts. In fact, all three people थे वो किसकी तरह लगते थे? Old people ghost की तरह लग रहे थे. That if the ghost existed, their clothes, manner and speech all belongs to the past. क्योंकि उनकी clothes, manner और speech है जो सब past से belong करती है. It is your choice, dear boy, said the old man one more time. The old man ने बोला ये तुम्हारी choice है. It is. Now please tell me where is the infamous haunted red room where I am to spend the night, I asked. तो मैंने बोला हाँ है ये. Now चलो मुझे बताओ कि वो रूम कहाँ पे है? Red haunted room कहाँ पे है? Red room, haunted room जहाँ मुझे night spend करनी है. Well, if you are insistent on doing that, you must go there alone. अगर तुम इतना insist कर रहे हो वहाँ जाने के लिए तो तुम्हें वहाँ अकेला जाना चाहिए. We have never had the courage to go there. हम पे हिम्मत ही नहीं है वहाँ जाने की. There is a candle outside light. It is to see the way. वहाँ पे कैंडल है, लाइट है जो जिससे तुम्हें रास्ता दिखेगा. Walk along the passage till you come across a spiral staircase. वहाँ पैसेज तक जाना जहाँ तक तुम्हें यहाँ पे तुम्हें एक स्पाइरल staircase दिखेगा. Climb and then you will see a door which is covered with a green cloth. फिर तुम्हें एक door दिखेगा जो किससे covered है? Green cloth से covered है. Enter the corridor through the door. Corridor में enter करना door के through. The red room is the last one at the end of the corridor. Finish the old man. Old man ने बोला जो red room है last वाला है corridor के end में. Now I walked along the dark and shadowed corridor to reach the room. And dark और shadowed corridor में walk करा उस room तक पहुंचने के लिए. Dark shadow danced across. जो dark shadow dance कर रही थी side में. I dare not to look behind. मैंने पीछे मुड़ के नहीं देखा. The corridor smelled humid. बहुत ज़्यादा humidity की smell आ रही थी corridor में. But before I reached the room, I thought I saw shadows of people huddled together. तो मैंने जैसे मैं corridor तक पहुंचा मेरे को लगा कि मैंने shadow देखी जो people एक साथ इकट्ठे हो रहे हैं. Shaken, I demanded that they come in themselves. Not getting a response, I went forward. मैं कोई response न देते मैं आगे चलता गया. But it turned out to be a statue. वो क्या थे? Statue थे. The great red room of Lorraine Castle was so big and dark that the light of candle could not illuminate the whole room. इतना बड़ा रूम था कि जो लाइट ऑफ कैंडल थी पूरे रूम में लाइट कर ही नहीं पा रही थी. Apprehensive, I recall the memory of my friend. मैंने क्या रिकॉल करी अपनी मेमोरी अपने फ्रेंड की who last stayed there and was found dead the next morning. और वो रात को रुका था और मॉर्निंग में वो डेड मिला था वहाँ पे. I also remember other people who died staying in this room. मैंने उन पीपल को भी याद करा जो यहाँ पे रह के मर गए थे जो जिनकी डेथ हो गई थी. I decided to make a complete survey of the room. मैंने डिसाइड करा मैं कंप्लीट सर्वे करूंगा उस रूम का so that nothing would surprise me. तो मुझे कोई भी चीज सरप्राइज नहीं करेगी. Then I lit all the candles in the room. फिर मैंने क्या करा lit करी सारी candles रूम में and drew all the curtains to make sure nobody hid behind them. और मैंने drew कर दिए सारे curtains कि कोई उनके पीछे छिपे ना. Additional light was cast by the huge fireplace for which I was thankful. Extra light कहाँ से आ रही थी? Additional light fireplace से आ रही थी जिसके लिए मैं बहुत ज़्यादा thankful था. Then I sat down on a big chair. मैं chair पे बैठा नहीं use the table as a barricade. और मैं chair को use करा barricade की तरह. I sat there waiting in solitude. मैं वहाँ बैठ गया solitude में wait करता. Stating it being lonely. I admit I gradually became increasingly conscious of the shadow dancing. मैं थोड़ा conscious हो गया था. मैं admit कर रहा हूँ मैं थोड़ा conscious हो गया था जो shadow dance कर रही थी वहाँ पे. Across the room, I felt an odd sensation of something. मुझे थोड़ी सी अजीब सी sensation आई किसी चीज की. Maybe a presence lurking around. I was so nervous. मैं थोड़ा nervous हो गया. Suddenly at midnight, 2 candles blew out. Midnight में क्या हुआ? 2 candles बुझ गई. I dashed to relight them. फिर से मैंने दोबारा relight करने की कोशिश की. Then 2 more extinguished at the end of the room. फिर 2 और बुझ गई रूम के end में. I thought to myself, I must have done that myself in my hurry to light the others. मैंने जल्दी कर दी दूसरों को जलाने में उनसे. I started to light those 2 but another only to have more candles dying off as they were crushed by someone's hand. वो ऐसे die हुई थी जैसे किसी की hand से वो crush की जा रही थी. Steady, I comforted myself. मैंने अपने आप को comfort करा. However, much to my growing apprehension, the candle in my own hand blew off. फिर जो candle मेरे अपने हाथ में भी थी वो भी बुझ गई. I thought of fireplace and felt grateful for that constant light. मैंने फिर fireplace के बारे में सोचा जो यहाँ से मुझे constant light आ रही थी. But much to my horror, that very moment even the fireplace extinguished. उस time पे fireplace भी extinguished मतलब बुझ गया. Not able to bear it any longer, I ran across the room towards the door. मैं room के cross move करा door की तरफ in order to get out of the room. room से बाहर निकलने के लिए. I thought I found the door. मुझे लगा कि मुझे door मिल गया. But I tripped over fire. First my chair. मैं trip कर गया गिर गया chair के ऊपर. Then फिर bed पे गिर गया. Half out of my mind and crying out loud. और मैं cry कर रहा हूँ तेज. I tried running. मैंने भागने की कोशिश की. My last memory was being hit by something and then falling into deep sleep. मेरी last memory थी कि मैं hit हो गया किसी चीज से और मैं deep sleep में चला गया. I woke up next morning with my head banged and surrounded by the 3 old people. जब मैं सुबह उठा मेरा जो head था bandage था और मेरे आसपास 3 old people थे. Where am I? I asked. मैंने पूछा मैं कहाँ हूँ? I seem remember you and yet I cannot remember who you are. मेरे को लगता है कि मैं remember करूँ but मुझे नहीं पता आप हो कौन. They told me then and I heard of the haunted red room. फिर मैंने सुना उस haunted red room के बारे में. We found you at dawn. हमें तुम्हें dawn पे मिले, said he, and there was blood on your forehead and lips. और तुम्हारे blood था तुम्हारे forehead पे और lips पे. Soon I remembered. You believe now, said the old man, that the room is haunted. क्या तुम अब believe कर रहे हो कि room haunted है? Yes, said I. Then the room is haunted. हाँ, मैंने बोला हाँ, room haunted है. Tell us who the ghost is. Is the earl or the countess? Countess. क्या वो earl है या फिर countess? चलो हमें बताओ ghost कौन है? No, said I. It is not. There is neither the ghost of the earl nor the ghost of the countess. ना तो earl का ghost है ना countess का. In that room there is no ghost at all, but worse, far worse. वहाँ कोई ghost नहीं है, but worst है, उससे ज़्यादा बुरी है. The worst of all the things that haunt people, mortal man. जो haunt करता है poor mortal man को, said I. Then it is fear. वो डर है. It is the fear itself that beyond any reason. वो खुद का डर है जो हर reason से beyond है, and understanding. It is the fear that haunts the imagination. वो fear है जो ये haunt करता है हमारी imaginations को, man की imaginations को, and increase the awareness of even the simplest thing. और एक awareness जगा देता है, even the simplest thing की भी awareness जगा देता है. I stopped abruptly. मैं stop हो गया abruptly, suddenly and unexpectedly. There was an interval of silence. वहाँ silence का interval. It is a fear that follows you. एक fear है, डर है जो तुम्हें follow करता है through the corridor so that you dare not turn. जिससे तुम turn नहीं करो पीछे की side. वो तुम्हारा डर है. I fought against me. It fought against me in the room. There is fear in that room. वहाँ पे डर है उस room में. Plain black fear. I finished. वहाँ पे अंधेरा था. Plain black fear. I finished. So that's all for this lesson. This lesson is given by H.G. Wells. Now let's solve the exercises of this lesson. Tick the correct options. The young man felt a little uncomfortable on his way to the red room. Why? The way to the red room was dark and shadowed, and this added to the ghostly atmosphere. It was scared of ghosts and expected to haunt the corridor. He was in the castle against his wishes. First one. Now second question. The reason why the young man decided to stay in the red room is because he wanted to break a record of surviving a haunted house, because he wanted to prove that the ghosts don't exist, because he wanted to prove that the old caretaker had murdered his friend. Second one. The young man ensured that every part of the room was well lit because he wanted to be able to see every part of red room. He was afraid of the dark. He wanted to make sure that nobody robbed him while he slept. He was afraid of ghosts. He was afraid of the dark. He wanted to be able to see every part of the red room. The young man kept dashing across the room to look for a hidden secret door, as he could hear someone call his name to relight the candles that he kept burning out. Now the young man discovered that the real ghost was the countess who lived in the castle long ago. His own dead friend. The fear of ghost itself, his own reflection. The fear of ghost itself. Now write T for true and F for false statement. The young man did not believe in ghosts. True. The slow footsteps sounded too old to be to the young man. True. The red room was very small and illuminated. False. It was very big. Only fear haunted the poor mortal man. False. The young man used chain as a barricade. False. He used table as a barricade. Now let's solve the true false. Now let's solve the fill in the blanks. The young man heard someone dash the room, entering the room. The red room was dash room. The red room was haunted room. Third, the old man walked into the old. Yeah, here is no fill up. The old man walked into the room with the help of a crutch. So the young man found only dash in the room. क्या मिला था young man को? Darkness. The shadows were dashed across the The shadows were dashed across the room. The shadows were creeping across the room. Now let's solve the exercise. Now let's solve the question answers. That is, answer the following question. First one, why did the young man not believe in ghosts? Because he believes in logics. He believes in logics and reasons, no, not in superstitions and ghost stories. Why could the light of candle not illuminated the red room? The candle kept blowing out due to mysterious presence or draft making the room dark. Again and again. Now, what was the thing that haunted the poor man? It was fear, the ideas of fear that haunted the poor man. What did the young man find in the red room? What is really haunted? The young man found it the fear in that room. There was fear of the darkness that was really haunted. What lesson did you learn from the story? We learned that there is no ghost, there is nothing, there is only the fear that goes the people. The fear fear of the people only goes them. So that's all for this lesson. I hope you like the explanation of this lesson. Thank you and have a great day.